morning.
Good morning. So exciting.
We're just a hallway away from them.
We are not far.
Pop right in.
They're right inside of there.
Yes. Kearny Mesa is, of course, where KFMB Studios calls home for many, many years. 75 years we are celebrating here. This is a look at our setup here this morning right in front of the station. We've had so many awesome guests here. This place is so interesting, right? There's the industrial component. There's the Asian-infused food that we have here. We've got an airport here. Of course, if you're looking for a car, there's many dealerships around here for that. There's a little bit of something for everyone here.
We just saw ballet. We have hula, the musical theater, the gymnastics.
There's so much culture around here, right? So much celebration of it. The arts, the food. At night, I feel like Kearny Mesa just gets crazy.
It really does. It really does. So yeah, lots to celebrate here today besides just our zip trip. We're celebrating, again, our 75 years.
That's right.
San Diego's first TV station, some old video that we have from back
our
over the days.
unveiling.
Our
archive is amazing. You can get lost back there looking through all the tape.
I love looking at these videos.
I love the outfits.
Exactly, the hairstyles. I mean, look at that. So yeah, we've been here 75 years, the first television station to bring you the news here in San Diego. Proud to be a part of that. Technology has changed a lot. As we know, the way they used to air the news was a lot different. But I will say, our setup here is quite elaborate as well.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we are able to do this because thanks to our crew that's out here. Over the years, obviously, the size of cameras, audio, microphones, all of that has evolved a lot.
Changed quite a
bit.
bit.
Tape-to-tape editing, you guys know.
And the quality of the picture, right? The HD is now
just
so
a bit
crystal
better.
clear.
The airport.
That's a look at the airport. Yeah, this actually all started from a military base, Camp Kearny, back in 1917.
Well, what do you know?
Which has now evolved to a little bit bigger base called MCAS.
Ever heard of it?
Moved a little north.
That's where the planes come roaring
Exactly.
across.
And Montgomery Field.
Right.
It used to be Gibbs Field, and during our live interviews, oftentimes we'll have to take a little pause as those planes are rip-roaring away here.
But to think that it started that way, obviously so much has grown here. In fact, if you've been here, you've seen the mix of the restaurants that we've been talking about. Also the car dealerships that you mentioned. So how did this all intermingle and come together? Regina Yorita now gives us a look back.
If you're passing through Kearny Mesa, the Convoy District is probably an area you do not want to miss. Its cultural hub and popular Asian food destination has brought hundreds of people here.
Where should I get the best Asian food? Then people tell them Convoy Street.
But in this town, you might also notice car dealerships in every corner. The headquarters of many businesses are located here. There's also constant construction. Some critics even say there's very little parking available. So how do the Pan-Asian and Pan-Pacific eateries as well as markets end up in the middle of an industrial neighborhood?
Those 1980s, this was really just an industrial business neighborhood where families would go to get their errands done. And today, you come here for the best food, the best desserts, the best boba tea drinks.
Kathleen Dang is with the Asian Business Association. She grew up coming to Convoy for her favorite Vietnamese market staples.
My parents used to work on this street, so when they were working, I would follow them back to their businesses after they picked me up from school.
Dang says back in the 1980s, Asian entrepreneurs were ready to disrupt San Diego's familiar restaurants and instead introduce authentic Asian cuisine and markets.
Shopping center owners were open-minded to mom and pop businesses and those businesses needing places to rent and be tenants of. I think that's where that opportunity was. So for example, the shopping center we're in is owned by the Wong family. They're a major landowner in this neighborhood and that they own multiple shopping centers, and they intentionally rented out these business spaces to local mom and pop families.
Mom and pop families that wanted a community that they felt connected to. Soon, Convoy became the heart of San Diego's Asian cultural hub. Today, you can find the Jasmine restaurant, one of the oldest restaurants on Convoy that offers Hong Kong-style Cantonese Chinese food and delicious dim sum. It's been standing here since the early 90s. There's Asian street art, the U Darvish Padres mural, and even old signage of the first original Korean market that's now the Dumpling Inn.
You can take a peek at some of the history by looking at the business signage. Some of the signage could be outdated and they are signs from businesses past.
These Asian businesses have been here for decades, but it was only until 2020 that this area got recognized as the Convoy District. And soon, this median where I'm standing, which is located on Convoy Street and Opportunity, will have a 30-foot sign representing the Convoy District. Have
of a marker for the community to know that we're here, this is something special, this is what we want people to know about us.
Advocates for the Asian Business Association have pushed to keep Convoy thriving. They're now looking to bring new development.
So there's not particularly any, housing in this area that people could think of. They're on the outskirts of the neighborhood, but last year they actually just did their first groundbreaking for the first ever 500-unit complex.
The redevelopment phase is only proof of the hard work and dedication Asian business owners have put to keep Convoy District alive.
To see our cultures thrive in an environment like that shows how resilient our communities are. And again, just some of the best stories that we want to continue to tell in the future.
Today, many San Diegans and tourists visit the Convoy District, whether it's to try new food or to take a tour and learn about how it all started. Regina Yurita, CBS 8.
Cool to see the history of everything, how it all came to be, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a hodgepodge of a little bit of everything,
It is.
isn't it? We've got
That's
the
the best part.
industrial, you can test drive a car, you can hop on an airplane, you can take some dance classes, and then you can follow it up with some of the best Asian food around.
Really good food.
I was going to say, we're usually here in the mornings where everything's just kind of starting to wake up. But if you come here in the evenings, it's so busy.
Yeah,
There's, restaurants have waits out the door.
Right.
So it's awesome to see so many, especially young people, come to Convoy for the food. There's the ballet scene,
Right.
there's musical theater, there's so much.
Right.
There's a lot.
So
to
this
see.
weekend you may have plans to book a trip to a restaurant here, join our zip trip in around Kearny
Right.
Mesa.
Yes.
How's the weather going to be?
Yes.
So like we've seen this morning, quite overcast as we start off the day, but we are going to be seeing sunshine by the afternoon. We're going to see that sunshine tomorrow as well. The downside of the forecast, you could say, is the changes that we see arriving into Sunday. Sunday's going to be likely a little bit of a wet start to the day and then a drier afternoon. Marine layer starting to pull back, but it's going to take its time. We're talking 9, 10 a.m. that we'll see more of that sunshine in the mix. Conditions outside right now, mostly upper 50s and low 60s. Santee is at 59 degrees. Chula Vista is at 60, and downtown San Diego at 61 right now. There's the marine layer pulling back. This is paused at 11 a.m., so you can see how between now and 11, we're going to see that clearing take place. We are back to mostly sunny conditions this afternoon. As we get into tonight, marine layer rebuilds. Fills pretty much the entirety of the coastline, inland valleys to the western slopes of the mountains, and there are a few sprinkles. But the main change that we see after a sunny Saturday afternoon is this. That cloud cover builds all the way across the county, and then the green pops up. Closer to 2 a.m., a lot of people are going to be asleep for this, but you'll likely wake up on Sunday morning with some wet roads out there. So expect there to be some dampness as we start off the day. And if you're out super early for, maybe getting the dog walked out there or going on a run, you will likely encounter maybe a few hundredths of an inch coming down. We dry out by the time we get to 8 and 9 a.m. We're back to dry skies after that. So it's really exclusive to Sunday morning that we see that showering activity. And then this afternoon, looking at your forecast highs, these temperatures are going to fall. So we're in the 60s and 70s. The 70s that you see out there are going to be more 60s by Sunday. So we'll cool down, we'll be a bit breezy into tomorrow. But otherwise, after this slight bout of inclement weather for the weekend, we'll start to see temperatures recover going into next week. Back to the 70s along the coastline by Thursday of next week. Low 80s possible by about Thursday too. 82 by this time next week. Mountains and deserts are going to get the brunt of it. We've got a wind advisory for the mountains and deserts out there, and then those showers that will likely be heaviest in terms of accumulations on Sunday over the mountains. But besides that, should be a fine weekend, not by any means saying people shouldn't be going outside.
Okay.
It's going to be very, very light stuff.
Nice.
It just means that on Sunday morning, if you're out and about, a jacket with a hood would be helpful.
Hey,
All right,
this
we
is
can plan for that.
not only a cool part of town, but a busy part of town.
Yeah.
Very much
There's
so.
a lot going on here. We have Councilmember Kent Lee that you're going to be talking with.
Yes, exactly.
He's been busy.
Yes.
It's budget
There's
season for those
some
guys.
sort of budget that they're working on.
$5.7 billion to discuss and kind of split up, right?
Yes, exactly. So we'll be talking, and also just talking more about Kearny Mesa, right?
Yeah.
And about this community in general. Such an, exclusive, interesting community in San Diego.
Yes.
So there's a lot that goes into it.
HPI
Exactly.
month here that we're all
Focusing
celebrating
on
for
that.
all month of May.
Yes, and we have the hula dancers that are here, along with the beautiful music, the sounds of the ukulele, guitar, singers. I mean, look what's happening in our parking lot right now. Wish that we could get this every day. We'll be live right back here in just a couple minutes after this quick break.
Yeah.